All right, real estate doesn't have to be difficult, but it does have to be done in a certain order. So what I'm going to talk about today are the 3 things that I see the most often when sellers are getting ready to go out in the marketplace and they do things out of order and it ends up costing them money. Now, money in real estate, when I say a little money here and there, it's not a big deal. When I'm talking about the kind of mistakes that I'm going to talk about here, it's a lot of money. So let's get started. Number 1, when people go out and start looking at homes, one of the biggest mistakes they usually make is they do not take into the net value of their home and go through that reverse engineering process to figure out what they can really afford. So if you're moving into you're selling an $800,000 house and you've got a $200,000 mortgage and you're walking away with some substantial equity. You're understanding the taxable situation there. You're also understanding, do I need to put any upgrades in? Do I need to do any repairs on the house first? Is there anything that's gonna give me that 3-to-1 ratio? I spend $1, I make 3. Is there anything else I can do to increase that net value, lower my costs, get to the point where I am achieving a great number, and then applying the profit with a new mortgage at a very competitive rate to make sure that you now put this together and go, great, I'm buying this new house. Here's the rate and here's the actual payment that I'm looking at. Because as much as I want to say that you're going to buy a house, most time we are buying a payment. So $3,500 a month, $2,500 a month, whatever that is, that's what you're feeling comfortable with. And the only way that we're going to know that is to actually do the math and say, this is what it's going to look like. And then you're gonna look at those houses and you're gonna say, you know what? It's not worth it for me. I don't really like these houses at this price point. I think I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Or you're gonna look and you go, hey, you know what? This absolutely works for us. You're not gonna know though until you do the math, okay? Number 2, now you've remembered first, when we are like a first-time home buyer, you have the for now house, then you have the for when house, for when you need 4 bedrooms, for when you need more space, and then you have the forever. What ends up happening is people start doing these out of order. It's a game of musical chairs and everyone's just running around. And I'm gonna tell you, it is setting yourself up for failure. So set yourself up for success, be very clearly defined. Here's our price range, here's what we're shooting for. Only look at homes in this range. This isn't HGTV. We don't just sit there and go look at a 600 and then all of a sudden go look at a $2.5 million house. It will blow apart your expectations. And if you do, you know, just because I say you can't, maybe you can, but maybe it is not a financially sound decision. So then you get into this house and it's amazing and you will not take a trip for the next 15 years because you are now house rich, life poor. That is exactly where we don't want to be. So again, do things in the right order. And third one, when you are going and you're starting the process, call us in the beginning. Don't wait. I have clients that literally, you know, we've been working together for over a decade, almost 2 decades, and they start doing repairs without calling. Like, just call. I could come over, one of the team members, we can come over, get your agent involved if it's not us. Really what it means is that you're not making these 3 big mistakes. One is you're doing upgrades that a buyer's not gonna care about. They're just not gonna care about. Number 2 is you are doing upgrades the way that you think they should be done. So they are in your personal style. Those hot pink cabinets that you wanted, they are awesome, but they're awesome for you and not for a buyer. So now you have to pay for it twice because the buyer's gonna pay to rip them out and you're gonna have to lower your price in order to make that happen. So don't want that to happen. And thirdly is you're doing upgrades and repairs, but you're covering stuff up in the process that now needs to be pulled apart and redone. The most common one is when you paint without doing a report and a repairs previously or prior. So what ends up happening is you do the paint, then we do the inspection, and then we find a bunch of stuff, and then we have to go back and repair it, patch it all in, and then do more paint. Don't do that. I promise you there is an order to things, and if you follow this order, number 1, it's gonna limit the brain damage involved in the sale, and it's gonna make you feel really equipped to move forward at your timeline and kind of take your time because you have a very, very clear strategy. Okay, your strategy matters more than ever. If you have questions, you want to discuss your personal strategy, by all means, please reach out. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.